Hi everyone, welcome back to the Scent Advocate. Today I want to talk about some fragrances that I've gotten in a recent sample haul. As you know, I don't like to do hauls of full bottles. It's just not realistic for me with the economy the way it is right now, personal finances. It makes much more sense for me to take a more deliberate approach to full bottle purchases. And it's so much fun to go through the sampling process with all of you and share it. I got several samples through Scent Split and Lucky Scent in the last couple of days, and I want to talk about 4 of them today with you. So let's start out with LaRavissante. It is from Parfums MDCI. I am familiar with this house. I've got a bottle of La Belle Helene. It's a gorgeous fruity chypre, which I love. And that's really what drove me to LaRavissante. I hope I'm saying that right, by the way. It's LaRavissante. There we go. I hope that's coming across the correct way and not backwards. This fragrance is a beautiful summer fruity floral. It's got notes right off the top of pear and a mild pear and a white floral, possibly a resin in the base note. It's got a lot of depth and it's got good projection, which is completely consistent with La Belle Helene in terms of quality and strength. This is an EDP. Let's take a look at the notes. So up top, in the top notes, we've got nashi pear, absolutely, starfruit, pomegranate, lemon, and red berries. Wow. I definitely get red berries, maybe some strawberry in there. But what jumps out at me the most is the pear. But I think at the same time, the strength of the berries really bolsters it. Moving on to the middle notes, osmanthus, ozonic notes, honeysuckle, magnolia, and jasmine. I think the jasmine is what I'm picking up on in the white floral. It's beautiful. And then the base notes are marshmallow, sandalwood, driftwood, vanilla, and white musk. So the musk and the wood are what anchors the fragrance and not a resin. So I was definitely off on that. I think this is universally appealing. It's the kind of fruity floral that if you were to perspire while wearing it, if you live in a very hot climate, I don't believe it would negatively impact this. At the same time, it's not so strong that it's going to be cloying. And I think that's the lightness of the fruit and the strength of the wood. Absolutely beautiful. Moving on to La Stanza, Delle Bambole by Nobile 1942 or Nobile 1942. I love this house. And this fragrance is absolutely gorgeous. I received a sample of it in a purchase I made a little while ago, probably a few weeks ago. And I was just totally blown away. It's a gourmand. It's a leather gourmand. Oh, it is beautiful. Now, what I get to start is reminiscent of Baby Cat by YSL or Oh the Audacity by Penhaligon's. And just so you can see, this is the sample from Scent Split. Next, we've got Café Chantant from Nobile 1942. I fell in love with this the second I sampled it. I absolutely had to. Next, we've got Café Chantant, and that is also from Nobile 1942. I fell in love with this the second I sampled it. I absolutely had to get a larger sample. And these, by the way, are 5 ml, which you pay a little bit more for than the 2 ml or the 1 ml from Scent Split. But it allows for a longer amount of testing time, which I find worth it. Café Chantant opens up with a licorice or an anise or a fennel and a cocoa coffee, like a mocha. A light floral in the background to give it balance in those middle notes. And then I think it's a resin in the base. I think it's too sharp to be a wood. So I'm guessing a resin. It's a coffee-centric gourmand with a lot of character. It's beautiful. Let's see what the notes are. Top notes, sour cherry, star anise, and laurel, so like bay leaves and, aromatics. Then middle notes are heliotrope and iris. The heliotrope is like an almondy vanilla floral fragrance, so that kind of lends itself to the gourmands. And those together, iris and heliotrope, make up the floral center or middle of the fragrance. And then the base notes are vanilla, benzoin, and musk, and patchouli. So the benzoin is kind of a warm resin with a vanillic note to it, which is absolutely what I was detecting. And this is stunning. This is unforgettable. Unless you hate the smell of coffee, this is universally appealing. I love it, and completely consistent with the masterpieces that this house turns out. Nubile 1942 is fast becoming one of my all-time favorite houses. The perfumers are gifted, absolutely wonderful. The last fragrance we're going to talk about is 1270 by Frepin. It is in a 2-ounce sample that I also received from Scent Split. I had a 1-ounce sample and I really liked it, but I went through it so quickly I wanted a little bit more. I'm pretty sure this is also full bottle worthy, but I want to just try it out a little bit more, so let's smell it. A fruity floral. I don't know, I'm feeling the fruity floral. I'm feeling the fruity florals. I'm feeling the fruity florals. I am feeling the fruity floral. Fruity floral. I get apple. I get white floral middle, which I think is thematic with these fruity florals. Oh, I said it that time. It's not sharp enough to get a toasted wood or a resin, so I'm gonna go with a light wood for the base. Maybe a little patchouli in there because it definitely has a lot of body. So fruit for the top, floral, light wood. Let's see how I did. All right, top notes, pineapple, resins. Okay, that one was a bad call. Pineapple, resins, dried plums, cocoa, tonka bean, orange, and coffee. Wow. Okay, on the dry down, you definitely get some of that tonka bean and coffee note for sure. And that kind of goes hand in hand with a resin, and in my opinion, I see them as moving in a linear way with one another through the notes. Yeah, the dried plums, that's definitely kind of that dark fruit, but I didn't get that at the opening. As it's drying down, I'm getting a darker fruit, but in the opening, it was brighter. Okay, middle notes, dried fruits again, spices, hazelnut, lime, and flowers. It doesn't say what flowers, so I'm at a bit of a disadvantage. Need a coffee sniff. Yeah, very nice. And then for the base, we've got white honey, vanilla, woody notes, and Gaiac wood, which is kind of like a smoky leather. Yeah, so I definitely get the wood, and I'm not surprised there's no resin in the base. I am surprised there's resin in the top notes. Absolutely beautiful. Very quickly, I'm going to go back to the fragrances we tested earlier, just to kind of get a feel for how they are on the dry down. So LaRavissante, or LaRavissante. This is just stunning. Oh my gosh. It just gets better and better. This house is amazing. If you haven't tried their fragrances, do yourself a favor and get some samples. Gorgeous. Next, we've got Stanza, Delle, Bambole. This gets more cocoa, chocolatey, more gourmand with a little less of the obvious leather. The leather is there, but it's subdued, not nearly as strong as it was in the beginning. Café Chantant. Dude, it's settled down a lot. This hits you with a punch of coffee in the beginning. And it's definitely evened out a bit, closer to the skin, but gorgeous. And then finally 1270. Still beautiful. The pineapple is coming out more. Great stuff to try. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe.